And hello, you guys. Welcome to another episode of the Stubbs Show. I thank you guys for joining me here on this lovely day. Well, it's a little cloudy out here in the DC area, but it is Memorial Day. We are getting ready to move closer and closer to the summertime. So I thank you guys for joining me on this holiday. I know some of you guys still cooked out, probably had some seafood, family over, and enjoyed yourself. Listen, save me a plate. If you're in the DC area and you made some good food and you like Stubbs, I want you to try this meal and do a review. Inbox me, let me know I'm hungry. I didn't cook out today. I did cook a little meal, but I didn't cook out. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. We're getting ready to get this show started. I have a great show lined up for you guys. It's all about the power of transformation. Listen, we're getting older, not younger. I don't care what age you are, you're not going backwards like Benjamin Buttons. You're getting older. And at some point in your life, you're going to need a change in order for you to get to those blessings that you've been praying about and to elevate to a new level in your life. So today is all about helping you to get that done. My special guest on today is Miss Minister Cheyenne Upson, and she's going to be talking to you guys about her testimony and how she went through her trials and tribulations in hell to get to the peace that she's now in now. So let's get this show started, and I'll be right back. You guys don't go anywhere. Remember, like and repost, and then come back and comment. So like, share, and then come back and comment. Let's get this show started. I'll be right back, you guys, here on the Stubbs Show. Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Stubbs Show. Remember, I am growing this show to go global, and I am looking for commercials. I am looking for indie artists who have music videos on YouTube that you want to get out to more people. I am looking for more guests. So if you would like to be a guest on the show, come on. I'm looking for mothers who want to raise awareness. That's a big thing for me. If you lost your child to gun violence, and it doesn't seem like media or other people are giving you the attention that you need, you can come on and be a guest on a Stubbs Show, and I can assist you with raising awareness globally to people all over in different states. And if you go back through our YouTube page, you will also see that we have shows like that. So come on and be a guest on the show. Book authors, motivational speakers, those with a testimony, because the Stubbs Show is all about sharing a testimony. We can talk and show all the glory in the world, but I like to tell the story behind the glory, because many times, in order for a business or a brand to flourish, there's usually a trial or something that happened beforehand to help that person get to that place. So that's why today we are talking with my special guest about the power of transformation, because there is a process to get to where you want to be in life. Many times we want to rush that process. As my previous guest said, Miss Nicole Hicks, Coach Hicks, talked about how we want things to move fast. We want things to happen when we want it to happen. And many times there's a process that we need to go through. We need to burn off some things. We need to accept some things. We need to grow in some areas. We need to unlearn some things to get to the places that we want to be in life. And that's actually part of my story with the Leap of Faith Network, which is the owner, the hub, the house of the Stubbs Show, as well as with the Stubbs Show. It has been a journey. If you've been following me, you've watched me transform in many ways, from failing to falling and getting back up. And that's what it's all about, because every time you get back up, there's this new strength and this new thing that's in you to push you more. There's more faith in you, more confidence, and you believe more, and the vision becomes more clear to you as you go through your journey and your process. So when you see people falling and getting back up, you see people going through things in life, don't think that, oh, that's what they deserve or that's karma coming to them. No, many times it's them just having to learn how to detach, how to unlearn, and how to become who they are, to be able to use the gifts that's in them, that they were born with properly. So on today's show, that's exactly what we are going to be talking about. As soon as my guest enters into the studio, the virtual studio, I'm going to bring her on and introduce her to you guys. But while we wait, let's get ready to take a quick break here on the Stubbs Show and let you guys break real quick and see what's going on. So I'm going to go into a quick break. And when we come back, hopefully my guest will be here in the studio so that we can go ahead and move along with this interview, and talk to you guys about the transformation, the power of transformation. All right, you guys, I'll be right back.
Hello, this is TW Wedding Officiant. Let's make it official. Contact us today, 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 today. Contact us today.
Hello, this is Angel Y, owner of Home Helpers of Wardolph, Maryland. Are you in the Southern Maryland region and in need of non medical in home care? Well, maybe we can assist you. Some of the services that we provide are assisting with bathing, medication reminders, companion care, and so much more. Check out our website to see all the wonderful ways that we can assist you at www.homehelpershomecareofwardolphmaryland.com. We also are providers for our veterans. I look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back to the Stubbs Show. Remember, make sure you follow the show on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at the Stubbs Show. And if you have a commercial or brand commercial that you would like to get out to more people, I'm looking for commercials to be played on the show. But we are getting ready to get into my special interview on today on the power of transformation. I see that my guest has entered into the studio. So I am getting ready to introduce you guys to her. And then we're going to get you some tips, some advice, and some encouragement on how you can transform into the person that you need to be, because there's no need to sit on those gifts. I see so many people sitting on gifts and I'm like, wow, you could be using this or using that, but they don't understand how to get there. And it seems like too much work sometimes. And I definitely understand that because I've been in the wilderness for some time and I'm working to get myself out of there. So let's get ready to introduce my special guest so that we can get this show started. Remember, like and share, like and share. Meet Cheyenne. She is the founder of Chey Ministries International, a faith-based ministry dedicated to healing, restoration, prophetic encouragement, and helping people encounter the transformative power of God. Her journey is one marked by deep processing, personal growth, and God's redemptive grace. From seasons of brokenness and private refinement to stepping boldly into ministry, Cheyenne openly shares how God used every trial, setback, and wilderness season to prepare her for her assignment. Her testimony is a reminder that purpose is not built overnight and that true ministry is sustained through character, endurance, and intimacy with God. Through Chey Ministries International, she challenges, empowers, and equips believers to remain faithful in every season while trusting God's timing over public pressure. Her ministry reaches people through social media, speaking engagement, prophetic encouragement, and faith centered conversations that confront both spiritual warfare and personal transformation. Let's welcome her to the show. Well, hello, hello. Welcome to the Stubbs Show. How are you doing today?
I am good. Nice to meet you. I'm truly honored to be here today.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And where are you joining us from? Let the audience know.
Yes, I am in Miami, Florida. I'm in the hot where the heat is.
Yes, welcome to Miami. Tom Tom Tito. I don't know the whole song, but yes, how's the weather there on today?
Yes, the weather is good. It's a little bit cool, a little bit hot, but I feel like the weather is kind of bipolar. I'm not
The-
gonna lie.
Hey, all over, all over. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, we're in the 80s, almost 90 one day. The next we're in 50. So yeah, but thank you for joining us here on the Stubbs Show. I'm hearing a little echo. Do you got something else playing in the back or two screens on?
No, I think I should be.
I want to make sure this is right because we got to play the replay clips on for the people, and I want them to be able, for those that's not listening, I want them to come back and hear it right.
Yes,
So
yes.
maybe
Is
the
it
volume or something.
okay?
Let's see, cut it down a little bit. Let's see if that works. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Am I still echoing?
No, I'm echoing, but it's okay. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it
Yes.
going. So today we're talking about the power of transformation, which isn't easy. That's definitely not an easy thing. Letting go and moving forward. So you ready to get into this interview
Yes, I
and
am.
sharing some of your transformations and why you want to help others transform? So my first question is, when you hear the phrase "the power of transformation," what does it personally mean to you?
So when I hear the phrase the power of transformation, I think about something that is inward and it reflects outwardly. I believe that the power of transformation is I would say, processing or a inward healing that takes place, and it reflects outwardly through your life, through your business, through your ministry, through the way that you parent. Um, Transformation is shown, I would say, everywhere in how the way that you represent yourself. So the power of transformation is a deep work that takes place, and it happens outwardly.
Now, I know that you do prophetic work, and so I want to make sure I get the title right. Should we call you prophetess Upson or minister?
So you can call me minister. I'm not too caught up in titles, but you can call me minister. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I get that right because I know in the email when you replied to me, you was like Minister Stubbs, and I was like, no, we're not doing. I'm not a minister. I'm just Stubbs. I'm just Stubbs, but I wanted to make sure I had that right because I didn't know on the title. So I said, let me just put her name and get that work done. So why do you think that God often develops people in private before exposing them publicly? That isolation season.
Yes. So I truly believe the private seasons are the seasons where God does a lot. I can personally say before I even stepped into ministry, it was years. I'm talking about over 9 years of development, 9 years of God healing me, 9 years of even transformation of the mind. But even during those years, it was a lot that had to be removed and stripped from me. What I thought ministry was, how I thought my life would look. Um, Private seasons are so important because it's literally the foundation of how God will use a vessel. And I believe that so many people miss the private seasons because they want to hurry up and get to the public. But when you're developed in the private, you'll be able to hold the blessings, you'll be able to hold the anointing, and you won't crumble in the face of adversity. You won't crumble when success does come. When your name is out there, you won't crumble under the pressure of society, the pressure of ministry. I call it the quiet seasons, but also the Lodabar seasons where you're in the valley, where God's shaping your character. Your character is what sustains the gifting, the callings. Private seasons are very important and God uses them strategically.
Yes, and those private seasons don't feel good. Listen, I heard you say 9 years, and many times when we're going through those private seasons, we're going through ups, downs, ins and out, and our life doesn't look like God might not be involved in it. What do you say to the people during those times? Like, what are some of the best things to do? Because you're not during those times, you're not always as holy or as godly as you should be. So how do you get through that?
Yes. So during those private seasons, foundation is so important. I know for me, my process was a little bit longer because I ran from the call of God for many years, many years. So during the seasons of me being not so much in the public view, I believe that was a season where I lost a lot. I lost my home, my hair fell out. I had so many health challenges and issues that God was training me. He was training me emotionally during those quiet seasons and out of the public view. If I was to go into the public view with all of those mental issues, all of the family limitations, I think I would have crumbled. You know, um, Again, the quiet seasons are very strategic in the hands of God because He uses it to shape your character and develop you. It's not always ministry, 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 for you to even be a voice in politics, for you to be a voice to help women in business, the quiet seasons are very important.
I mean, let's talk about it because, like you said, you lost some things, lost your house. And I'm telling you, during those times you're going through, and you're like, well, God, if you wouldn't, why? Why is this happening? Why am I not being blessed? Are you listening to my prayers? Is my work in vain? You get into that process of like, why am I going through this? But like you said, you have to learn. It's like back in the days before we had all this social media,
Yeah.
you had to develop your pictures, and they went through that dark process and to be developed to come out. So when you were talking about that, I was like, people don't understand. Listen, the process can get very dark, and that's where people give up at. And my next question for you is, many people want the promise without the process. What is something that you learned while you were in the wilderness season?
Yes. Oh, so many people want the promise without the process. One thing that I've learned in the wilderness season is fasting. When I say I fasted so much, and it built my spiritual capacity to where no wind can move me anymore. I was so emotional during my wilderness season where I was learning how to hear the voice of God. I didn't know the direction God wanted me to go in. And in my wilderness season, I really wanted to be in tech. And in my wilderness season, I lost a lot of things, especially my ex fiance. During my wilderness season, it was a season of breaking me down. Um, During that wilderness season, losing him, he was very sick, and it was from that God really was building me, and shaping me into the woman that He wanted me to be. Um, especially with going from being a fiance into singlehood. Um, God was really healing my mind from my expectations of men, my expectations of people, how I thought my life would look, um, what I imagined my life to look. Because let me tell you, I did not envision ministry for me. I envisioned me in tech. Okay, so my wilderness season really shaped the call of God on my life. Again, years of processing, years of development, years being overlooked where I thought I was ready. Years of nobody, nobody knowing me, nobody knowing my name, nobody knowing who I am. Just quiet seasons of just me and God, and it developed stamina in me, where it's like when people are now wondering where did Chey come from? Years of me being in the cave serving the Lord. I learned how to serve Him, wholeheartedly, and answering the call of God for my life.
Ooh, come on. You said some things. What you said you wanted to be in tech.
Yes, ma'am.
We
Yes.
always got these desires of what we want to do. And the funny thing is when we want what we want, we kind of do what we want to do. And it takes us further along. And you be like, well, it's been 5 years, God. Now, like you said this to me, why am I not there? And is when you go back and think about it after you come out the wilderness, it's like because you kept going back to this, you kept trying that, you wouldn't listen to this process, you quit on the process. Let me tell you, let me ask you, how many times did you quit?
Woo! Ooh. I quit a couple of times. I said, God, you need to choose somebody else to do ministry because listen, when I say rebellious, I said, I ain't doing this. You can go and pick somebody else to do it because, baby, I'm going to go in tech. Okay.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, God allowed me to get into the door. Okay. I was hired for a company. I mean, did the onboarding, did the paperwork, and I was in the company for 2 days. 2 days. And
Days.
they fired me the
Oh my
second.
God.
You're in training.
You said, oh, I'm gonna let you walk through the door, but I'm gonna get you up out of here real quick. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna let you taste it, and then I'm gonna get you out of there. Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly how it works, and I'm glad that we're being honest and open and talking about this because so many people think that because I fail or I've fallen or it's not going how I think it should be, or I would make more money doing this, not understanding that when you just remain in alignment, those people that you see that got the big glory and this big old story, they went through the process to get there, and then you get to understand why they have more peace, why they're joyful about things that may break you down. It's because they've been broken into pieces, shattered, put back together, reshattered again, put back together again, and then able to walk out and, like you said, overlook what you got to
Years.
be able to take being overlooked, because it's not being overlooked, it's just not your time, or that's not even for you. It's you didn't even know that it wasn't for you, but you sitting up there crying and hoping they always doing this, cutting people off, getting upset the whole time. You're not ready.
Yes.
But let me tell you, when you came out that wilderness, those things that broke you down, that you hated and was upset about, were you thankful for?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I was very thankful because I say that the wilderness really shaped me into who I am today. The wilderness, I learned so much about God and
Mhm.
just His presence, being my ultimate decision maker, the presence of God, the peace of God. So many people will look, well, Chey, why haven't you lost your mind from losing your ex fiance? How
Losing
didn't
your
you?
house.
Yes. How didn't you go crazy? And I'm like, the wilderness season has sustained me because with the wilderness seasons, the one thing that you will learn about the wilderness seasons is when the trials and the tests come, it won't allow you to be moved from the place of God. So I don't know how my mind God was able to keep my mind in the midst of grief, in the midst of me going through warfare. People like, how are you functioning? How are you, having the joy of the Lord when you just lost your ex-fiance? How are you serving God? You should be angry at him for taking him. But I'm like, no, God has the way of doing things. He has a way of shaping you. And even with losing him, that's how I discovered who Chey was. So many people could be roadblocks and hindrances, to the call of God in your life. But when he died, that's when I found me.
Mm.
I discovered who I was in God.
Hold on, hold it right there, hold it right there. Oh my God, this is getting good, you guys. We getting ready to take a quick break. Today we're talking about the power of transformation, and I know you guys just heard her say, when he passed away, that's when something else was birthed. And some people may say, well, how is that? It's because many times we got to detach or lose to become this great person, and whether that's losing yourself or losing someone or losing something. There's some things that gotta, but what they say, you gotta go through the fire and let it be burnt off. This is good, you guys. We getting ready to take a quick break here on the Stubbs Show. Remember, you guys, don't forget, you can comment. We will put your comment up within the show. Also, you can repost. You can share. That's exactly what I want you to do. So make sure you're doing that right now while we get ready to take this quick break. And when we come back, we're going to get deeper into the power of transformation and what led Minister Upson to her position and walking in alignment with God, because it's not easy. Faith isn't easy. And if somebody told you walking by faith was easy and they just out here skedaddle, it's a lie. Listen, you can buy many things, but you can't buy the joy and the peace of God. It's a process. So we're getting ready to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back right here on the Stubbs Show. I thank you guys for joining me. Hey, what's up, you guys? I just want to let you know that I am seeking book authors to become a guest on our show. Now, it was Instagram Live, but now we're on all three platforms: Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So, this is your way to grow and reach more people. Don't forget to email us at the LOF Network at gmail.com. And you can become a guest on the show and also have your book placed within the show. All right, you guys, I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Hello, this is TW Wedding Officiant. Let's make it official. Contact us today, 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 today. Contact us today.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Stubbs Show. Okay, nobody asked me to sing, but I did used to sing in a choir at church when I was a little girl, so I got a little something on me, a little voice. But thank you guys for coming back here on the Stubbs Show and joining me every Monday. Listen, I'm adding more days to the week for the show, and I thank you guys for supporting the show. It's because of you that the growth is happening. On tomorrow's show, which is Tuesday, November, wow, May 26th, we're going to be having Mr. Eben Allen on. He's a community leader right here in Washington, D.C., and he's going to be talking with me about saving the youth and the community. Coming up on Tuesday, we're going to be having mayoral candidate Dr. Hamilton on, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton. She's running for the mayoral position right here in Washington, D.C. She's going to be on. You guys, if you go to our Facebook page, the Stubbs Show, you can leave your comments for questions that you would like to ask her about her campaign and her agenda for the Washington, D.C. mayor position. So today we're talking about the power of transformation. And while we're talking about that, I would like to also give a shout out to um, Dr. Angelo Reynolds. He is the author of the book, A Transforming You. And I am getting into this book for you guys. He was a guest about a few weeks ago, and he talked about transforming and addiction and recovery. This book is great because it has activities in here for you that you can complete and participate in. So you're not just reading, you're also participating in your transformation throughout reading the book. So you guys make sure you follow him on Instagram at Transforming Academy LLC, and just look him up at Angelo Reynolds right there on Facebook or on our page. We always repost our people. But I'm getting ready to bring my special guest back to the stage on today, Minister Upson. We were talking about the power of transformation. And when we went on break, she mentioned something about her fiance passing away, which helped to birth her ministry that she's in. And we were just talking about how you have to detach and lose some things in order to transform into the gifts that you were created to use and utilize for your life. So my next question, first of all, welcome back. You ready to get back into this interview?
Yes.
All right, let's get it going. So my next question for you on today is, how did that brokenness become the foundation for the ministry God birthed through you?
Oh, that's a good question. So the brokenness that I went through with his passing allowed God to birth Chey Ministries, because I thought that when I was going to go into ministry, I thought that it would be a beautiful thing, right? I thought that there would be lights, it would be lights, camera, action. You are now in the field and you are working for God. I thought that it would be a great introduction, until I was met with adversity and loss. Um, if I can be honest, I never would have imagined that I would be in this seat telling someone that yes, I did lose my partner. I would have never imagined that my life would head in that direction. I thought that we would do ministry together. I thought that he would get saved. I thought that he would serve the Lord. But God wrote a different story. And if I can be honest, this calling, this ministry that God has given me, it has broken me down. My expectations of what I thought ministry would look like, how I would go into ministry. This grief really blossomed me. I wouldn't say that it has been a perfect journey, but it has literally blossomed me into being a vessel that God can really use with no strings attached. no fakeness, no mask. I really came into, the ministry off of my story of me losing, my fiance. The way that God used my brokenness, He really used it to transform me into being a vessel of healing for other women. You know, using my pain as a story that you don't have to be hard headed, and you don't have to, you know, um, go the long, long, long way. And God doesn't have to, um, use different things to kind of get your attention. Um, I worshiped having a relationship. I worship being in a relationship. And God had to literally strip me of my codependency, on man, my codependency on having someone, you
Yeah.
know. And so the brokenness blossomed me into being beautiful, because I can literally feel like that first question, the transformation. I know I've been transformed inside, and it's now being expressed outwardly through my brokenness. I know that brokenness can make people go crazy, you
Yeah.
know. And I have lost my mind once, but we thank God for bringing my mind back. It was a very hard journey when I lost him. I lost so much weight. I lost a lot of weight. I was unrecognizable, but I knew that with that brokenness, I knew for a fact
Yeah.
that God was going to birth a worldwide ministry, because when God takes something that close to you,
Mm-hmm.
He is going to turn you into a global voice. And I knew that my season had come, and that my time had came when I lost him. And I remember I was in my car and I was praying. I was like, Lord, why would you allow this to happen to me?
Yeah.
And he said, now that he is gone, now you are ready for ministry. So until God takes the very thing that you think, how your life will go, and he takes it, and he says, now you're ready to work. Oh, I feel the presence of God.
Yeah.
Now you're ready to work for me. When you lose, this is not someone that I was just with for a couple of months. We were about to get married, you
Yeah.
know, but his decision, he didn't want God, his
Mm.
decision was different. And God was like, I'm not going to allow someone to take the ministry that I have for your life. I'm
No.
not going to allow someone. I've called you, for
Yeah.
so until he was gone, then that is when God said, okay, now I can use you.
Yeah.
Now you're ready to be used by me. So the brokenness, it built a foundation where I'm not moved by accusations. I'm not moved by how people treat me, because I've gone through the fire for real.
Yeah.
I've gone through it for real, and it's seasons of seasons after seasons, losing him, losing my house, losing my car, moving, seasons of being broken down,
Almost
you know,
losing your mind, losing
you know,
friends, losing
yes,
family members. Let's talk about it.
yes,
It's like you go through a funeral to get to
yes,
that other side. You gotta go into the darkness, the grace to come out. And what I'm hearing from what you're saying is he's a jealous God. He's going to get what he wants out of us, but we may lose our own life not giving up any of his interest.
yes,
That was real powerful. And thank you for your honesty and transparency and openness with that. Because like you said, it wasn't, and this wasn't a fiance that you was like, oh, I'm tired of him. I'm ready for him to go. You wanted him near and dear. But like you said, he wasn't trying to serve God like you. And maybe we don't
yes,
maybe if he was doing that, then he would still be walking with you now in this process. But like you said, you were loving him and it was kind of pulling you from your attention with God, and he's a jealous God. And he said, now hold up. Either you gonna come and love on me like I want you to, or I'm gonna go ahead and remove what you do love. And I always think about that because in my wilderness season, he always come and attack what I love. And if I hold on too tight, there's been times where he's almost taken me out. Where he's like, okay, boom, it's over. So my
Yes.
next question is, well, before we get into my next question, let's talk about Chey Ministries International, and what it is and what services that you provide.
Yes, yes, great question. So, Shea Ministries International is a ministry that empowers women. We've had countless testimonies of women whose lives have been transformed through Shea Ministries. And it's not just women in church, We know that sometimes our ministries and what God calls us to do is bigger than church. So it's not just church. But there are women that have received breakthrough from Shea Ministries who are running successful businesses, who are wanting to go into ministry. Has allowed us to minister to through prophecy. Prophecies have also come to pass through Shea Ministries with speed. So Shea Ministries is a global movement. It's global. By God's grace, we are going into Uganda to preach the gospel. We're going into Ghana as well to preach the gospel. Shea Ministries is a global movement of giving women their voice back. Women who don't have, the grace, or who need that push, who need someone to come alongside them and say, God is calling you. I'm a testimony of how God can take someone's pain and turn it into purpose. So that's what Shea Ministries is about. It's empowerment. It's empowerment for women. It's for believers as well who want to really step out and fulfill their destiny with God's help.
I love it. I love it. I wish I was going to Uganda with you guys. Maybe I can catch the next one,
Yes.
and be in support of that because I would love to come there and capture some content. So moving along, you mentioned something about grief. And I know that a lot of women, when they lose their loved one or someone that they dearly love, sometimes this grief sticks on them heavily. And I'm talking about that is their wilderness. Their years in the grief process, and not getting out of that to get back into the freedom and the relief and understanding maybe why they had to lose that person. And it's hard. So, how do you help others or women process grief while still holding on to faith?
Oh, that's a good question. So I help other women, or I would say men as well, hold on to faith while grieving is to grieve well, and find an outlet. You know, your outlet can be going to the gym. Sometimes my outlet is going to the gym. I like to work out, but also sharing my testimony. Sharing my testimony has also healed me very quickly. I thought that I would be grieving for years, but my grief process went very, very quickly because I spoke about it. I didn't allow the grief to bring me under. I didn't allow it to suppress me. I got out of the house, I connected with different people. I supported different women in ministry, supported different women who had businesses, connected with different, believers and people who's making change in the world. And I have support system. You never want to go through grief without having a support system. Somebody who gonna tell you, "Hey, snap out of it," because with grief, it can make you very angry. You can have episodes. So when you have a support system that helps you to not stay here, to not stay in your mind. With faith, I've been able to have some therapy sessions as well. I was able to speak about what was bothering me. Um, I even experienced sometimes anxiety attacks, where I had to pull over, so, my mind wouldn't. go into a realm. You understand what I'm saying? Well, it wouldn't leave me. My mind wouldn't leave me. And I had to, my support systems have been the ones that has helped me to um, grieve healthily, grieve healthily. Support systems are very important, especially faith support systems. People who gonna give you the word of God. People who gonna prophesy to you and tell you, "I know that you're going through this, but this is what the Lord is saying, and this is what I'm seeing for your next." They're not gonna allow you to stay in that mindset of the devil speaking all type of things to you. Because when
Woo.
you grieving, that suicide spirit can come
Mm.
as well, where you want to kill you. I want to be with him too. And then the enemy has won.
Yeah.
But my support systems has really helped me heal. People who check up on me, when I'm going silent, I want to see how you doing. Somebody that you can trust, who's not gonna turn your grief against you, who's not gonna use it as a weapon, but somebody who's gonna listen to you and just want to have a heart to heart. So support systems, people who are there for you, but also getting out, connecting with people, sharing your testimony, sharing your story about what God has done for you.
Yes, yes. I love that talking about it. And like you said, getting out. So many people isolate. And there's a difference between God's isolation and our isolation. And I think many times people confuse it and they're like, I need to be isolated for this change, or I need to have this happen or that happen. And a lot of times when you're isolated, like you said, the enemy comes and he attacks that mind and he tells you to do stupid stuff that absolutely makes no sense, and also helps to confirm with you. If you say, well, God, you don't hear me, and this work is in vain, and I'm just doing this for nothing, you don't want me, he's going to help you to confirm that he
Yes.
doesn't want you, that you should just go ahead and stop the process and let it go. So I thank you for also talking about that. My next question is, you speak openly about spiritual warfare. What are some signs that someone may be under a spiritual attack during their transformation season?
Oh, that's a good question. So, signs that you are under spiritual attack, I would say physical signs that you are under spiritual attack is when you deal with dizziness. You deal with dizziness, cloud, like you feel like there's a cloud of heaviness on you. You deal with oppression. You deal with voices, hallucinations. Hallucinations are one of the main tools that the enemy use. You think that there's stuff there that's not there. You think that there are spirits. You think that there are dark shadows that speaking to you. Um, those are signs that you are under spiritual attack. Also, when you get into strange car accidents as well, when it's like people wanna bother you, people want to make you upset, complete strangers wanting to make you upset and blow you into fits of rage. You know that you are under spiritual attack. But also, when you don't have a desire to pray, there is not a day that I go by that I don't pray. At least speaking to God in some type of way, you know. If you don't want to pray or have no desire to pray, you are under spiritual attack. Reading the word as well. Even if it's, many religious people, they like to say if you don't read a whole Bible passage a day, you under spiritual. That's not the case. If you could just remember the word of God. God, you said I'm whole. God, you said according to Psalm 91, nothing will harm me. Just remembering the word of God throughout the day. But if you don't have the capacity, or I would say the will to pray, you are under spiritual attack. Because if the enemy can shut your mouth, he can shut your destiny. You
Mm,
know.
mm.
So prayer, especially hallucinations. where you feel like you're going crazy, where you feel like somebody trying to put something on you, trying to curse
Yeah.
you, you are under spiritual attack.
Yeah, and those distractions,
Yes.
and then you brought up car accidents and strangers trying to say and attack you. You're like, well, what the heck is going on? And it's because you're under a spiritual attack. Everything's trying to confuse you. And I love that you said you don't feel like praying. And sometimes, and I've been there too, where you feel like there's too much going on. I don't have enough time. That I can't really pray. You just hit the thank you, Lord, for this day. Instead of taking your time. And when you do eventually get down on those knees, you break. You break.
Yes.
It's like the well just comes up and everything. And when you get done, sometimes you need a nap.
Yes.
You need a nap because you have actually went to war. And you said
Yes.
you do nothing but pray, but you were fighting for more than what you knew, especially those belly cries. Oh my God. You
Ooh.
get ready to get, listen, when you got to dig deep in it, or you get to praying, you got to spit. And it's like
Yes.
you letting it all up, you're cleansing those bellies and everything is good. This is great. This is great. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Hold on with me. Don't you go nowhere. You guys, oh my God, this is a great interview with Minister Upson. Please remember, you guys, the email is there. Let me put it up right now, you guys, on here. And when she come back, I'm going to make sure you have her contact information on social media platforms. But there's her email. If you need to connect with her, if you are grieving, women, listen, we grieve a lot. We already grieve the things that we go through when we're in survival mode. So if you've recently lost someone that's near and dear to you and you need support, get support, get help. Do not isolate. God is not telling you to isolate. He may be saying isolate from certain people and things, but you need to connect with the right people, and what you hear and what you see matters. It's very important that you are listening and hearing the right things, because you can be in your grieving process for years. And I see women do it all the time. And I'm focusing specifically on that topic right there with grieving, that issue, because I want you to connect with her at the email address at the bottom of the screen, so that you can get the help that you need, because there's another life for you after death. Life after death. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. So there's something else waiting for you. It wasn't for you, although you didn't expect it to happen. It wasn't for you to lose something and stay lost forever. There's a new you. There's another mom. There's another woman. There's someone for you to now help get through the process. But it's time for you to heal and also get through. We're getting ready to take a quick break, you guys, right here on the Stubbs Show, and come back and end the interview with my special guest on today. Today, we're talking about the power of transformation. You see your girl transforming, baby. Go back to the first episode and come now to this episode. I'm sitting up here proud of myself. I heard my spirit talking about the transformation as I just was easily gliding into that. That's right. This is a live show. So there's no edits, and I'm feeling good that I'm getting on to it and through it. But we're getting ready to take a quick break right here on the Stubbs Show, so I could come back and get you connected with my special guest. We letting that grief go. We're not playing in 2026. We elevate all the way right here on the Stubbs Show. I'm helping you to do it. I'll be right back, you guys.
Hello, this is Angel Y, owner of Home Helpers of Wardolph, Maryland. Are you in the Southern Maryland region and in need of non-medical in-home care? Well, maybe we can assist you. Some of the services that we provide are assisting with bathing, medication reminders, companion care, and so much more. Check out our website to see all the wonderful ways that we can assist you at www.homehelpershomecareofwardolphmaryland.com. We also are providers for our veterans. I look forward to hearing from you.
TW Wedding Officiant. Let's make it official. Contact us today, 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 today. Contact us today.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Stubbs Show. I hope you enjoyed that brief break. Remember, connect with those business owners. And if you have a business or brand commercial that you would like to share with people all over the world, because the Stubbs Show is global, you can just connect with us. And our email is thelofnetwork@gmail.com. And if you're on any of the platforms from YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, I wouldn't say YouTube because I don't know how to check that inbox or where it goes. Maybe it comes to the email. But on the other ones, you can shoot me a DM and connect with me, and we can get your commercial up and playing on next week's show. I also want to give a shout out to a Transforming You, Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Angelo Reynolds. He has a book that you can get, and it has activities on the inside for you to participate in your recovery. So make sure you guys order this book, check it out. And if you go back to our previous show, he was giving you a free toolkit for your journey towards your recovery. On today's show, we are talking with my special guest, Minister Upson, about the power of transformation. And when we left, things were just getting heated, lit, whatever you want to call it. This has been a wonderful interview, and I've been enjoying it. And I hope that you guys have been too. And remember, don't forget to share this with someone that needs to hear it, because we grow through our listening and what we see, and you need to see the right things. So I'm getting ready to get ready to end our interview for today. But before we do, I have another question that I want to ask to my guests on today, just to make sure that I'm getting you guys everything that you need, and everything that you need to know for your transformation journey and process. So, Minister Upson, I've already asked you, how do you help other people? And we know a lot of people go to the church for their transformation. But one of my questions is, what's one hard truth about transformation that most churches avoid talking about? And I mean, let's get into it. We don't have to name a specific church, but we could just talk about religion or church in general, because I'm spiritual. So I'm going to help everybody out.
Yes, that is a good question. So, one truth that churches really don't want to confront and talk about when it comes to transformation is transformation does not always happen in the church. It doesn't, everybody's story is completely different. I didn't meet God in a church. I met God in somebody's bed. That's how I had my encounter with God.
I mean, it's the truth anyhow. You don't always
Yes.
see them in the church, but go ahead, sis.
Yes. My transformation, people's transformation is not bound to a church system, to a religious system. Somebody can have a transformation while they're in a strip club, on a corner selling crack. It does not matter. God has his own way of transforming individuals, and that is I would say, what a lot of churches don't want to accept, that God is not in a box. He's not in a box. And with religion, especially when it comes to the Christian, viewpoint, or the Christian world, we think that God is boxed in and transformation has to happen inside of a church. No. As long as someone has an encounter with God and they know that God has transformed their lives, that is their testimony, and that's what God uses. Um, Truthfully speaking, again, my transformation didn't happen in a church. It happened outside of a church, but I got tired of living that way. And I know that God was calling me for more. I believe that churches need to really come out of the four walls, come out of the four walls, because there are
Man,
people that would never, ever, ever step foot in a church.
yep,
Some people don't even want anything to do with the church.
yep,
But you go into a hair salon and you telling them, hey, this is how God transformed my life. This is my and they are transformed just by you telling your story. It don't always have to be Jesus, 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 because there are some spaces where you can make the gospel look very attractive without even saying Jesus. It's your
that's right.
life, you know?
Ooh,
And
I like that. It's
yes,
your life and how you go about your life that people should ask, well, where'd you get that joy from? Why are you so happy? How are you this type of person? And then the freedom that you have, because like you said, religion, especially sometimes, I'm just gonna say religion, and that's many religions because I grew up Catholic, Jehovah Witness, and Christian. They put you in a box of what you have to do, you should do, what you should look like, what you should say, and how you should go about getting closer to God when God wasn't even in the four walls. And the only remembrance that I have in the Bible when they speak of him going in the four walls, he was flipping tape.
that's
So,
right.
you know what I'm saying? He got
Yes,
in there and got fired up himself, but he fed and led the people out in the streets. And
in the
I'm okay with
streets.
going to church because that's my weekly motivation. But I didn't find God in the church. I grew up in church. I found him when I stepped out into the streets and
Yes,
I was being raggedy and dirty and I had to come back to him and ask for forgiveness.
yes.
And I'm like, well, God, who is this man to keep forgiving me? Because I am a ratchet mess. Come on now. But if he can forgive me, I'm going to go to his side because the devil just keep dragging my butt down the creek. So, but I thank you for joining us on today. I do have one final question that I would like you to respond to before I let you go and leave the people with some motivation. And that question is, if someone watching tonight feels broken, lost, and spiritually tired, what would you say directly to them? I want you to speak to that person.
So, if you are feeling broken, lost, confused, spiritually tired, listen, there is a God that will take your mess and turn it into a testimony. It is never too late. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter if your mom rejected you, if your father rejected you, if you're the black sheep of the family. Listen, God uses all of that and transforms it into something beautiful. Do not despise your silent seasons. Do not despise the seasons where you feel like God is not doing enough, because trust me, God is doing a lot in those seasons. And before you know it, I'm telling you, you will be a global phenomenon. If you allow God to process you in the silent seasons, in the seasons where you feel like nothing is happening, I'm telling you, God will give you a testimony that will shake and change the nations. Trust Him. I know it's a cliche. Trust God, even in the most painful seasons and the times of testing, because that is where your stamina is built. That is where your faith is built. Do not give up on God. I'm telling you, I am a testimony. Do not give up on God. It doesn't matter where you are. Do not give up on Him. I'm telling you, He will change your story.
Amen. Amen. Now, do you have social media? Because I didn't see that on in the email or anything. Do you have social media?
Yes,
Okay, let the people know where to follow you at on social media, Facebook and Instagram, so they can jump on and like you right now while the show is going on.
yes. So I am on Facebook. My name is Chey Upson. So it's Chey Upson on Facebook. Instagram, it is the Chey Empowers, or Chey Empowers, which is Chey Empowers. I am also on YouTube, Chey Ministries International. And then I am on TikTok, Chey Empowers.
All right, you guys, I was trying to get all that in, but I did get the Facebook for you. Chey Upson, make sure you guys that is on the screen. I'll put that up on there for you guys to see. I thank you so much for joining us here on the Stubbs Show for this powerful interview, sharing your testimony and being very transparent and introducing us to Faith Ministries International. I thank you for being a guest here with me and my special guest for today that's virtually listening from all over. And I send you many blessings and hope that you have a great evening.
Thank you so much. It was an honor being here. Thank you so much.
All right, we will stay connected. We will stay
Yes,
connected.
we will.
Connected. All right, you guys. I thank you yet again for joining me for another episode of the Stubbs Show. Please go make sure you connect with my special guest on today. Her email, I'll put it back up here again. We're going to get you the support that you need. That's what the Stubbs Show is all about, providing you with resources, helping you to build your confidence, take that leap of faith, raising awareness, and sharing and discussing the topics that need to be discussed. Coming up on Wednesday, I need you guys to join me. Tell a friend to tell a friend that on Wednesday I will be having Washington D.C.'s mayoral candidate, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton, on, and I may have some other people that's running for a position in different states coming on soon. But Wednesday, May the 27th at 7 p.m., we're going to be on talking with her about her campaign and her agenda and making sure that she can fill the shoes to become the new mayor. So if you're running for a position and you like, hey, Stubbs, I want to come on the show to let the people know about my agenda, just shoot me an email at the lofnetwork@gmail.com. We're getting ready to close out the show for today. And I do have some music, a music video. Kev, I'm going to put his music on. This song is called Finish Line. If you want to have your video played or us play your music, you got to inbox me. I know y'all saying, well, you played Kev before. Well, Kev connected with me and made sure I know about his new music. So if you want your music played, you got to connect with me. And my girl Day, make sure you check out Day Vibration on Instagram. That's my sister. She's like family.
Yeah, right now. I got Forrest's camera. They about to transition that way. We about to get this shoot.
I'm getting ready to go.
Moving. Let's
Remember,
go.
Kev is a local artist. He's an indie artist. All empowering you to know God. I gotta go. I'll see you guys see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Deuces.
Unlimited time, that cannot be wasted. I'm in my prime. I got a poor man grabbing, obtain what is mine. I'm gonna go now, making no stopping. Some of that grind. I cannot quit until I cross that finish line. This is my moment. At the point, man, I gotta make it. Look what I done, you see from afar. Wasn't alone and I've embraced it. Yeah, writing these verses is bigger than me. Let's say a prayer that I keep up the faith and searching for strength cause I gotta achieve. Jesus knows what's best for me. On the grind feel like game 7. 9 to 5 don't feel like heaven. OGs, man, had to tell me when you're a diamond, here comes the pressure. On the phone, they dropping jewels. That word of wisdom I do treasure. Heading up to that finish line. My mindset is to be remembered. Yeah, ayy. Unlimited time, man, cannot be wasted. I'm in my prime. I got a poor man grabbing, obtain what is mine. I'm gonna go now, making no stopping. Some of that grind. I cannot quit until I cross that finish line. Seeing the younger, they falling short. They dropping the ball while they on the court. When I leave, who I turn to? If it's another me, gotta pass the torch. Lil' bro had to take the lead. I'm the only one who sees results. Making sure that my process and my progress doesn't be revoked. These moments don't last forever, so right now I got my joy in it. There were times I didn't see it, had to find out my own existence. Now the goal is to show the youngers a better way, how we can be living. Ain't no reason us stopping now, gotta thug it out until the finish. Unlimited time, that cannot be wasted. I'm in my prime. I got a poor man grabbing, obtain what is mine. I'm gonna go now, making no stopping. Some of that grind. I cannot quit until I cross that finish line. Unlimited time, that cannot be wasted. I'm in my prime. I got a poor man grabbing, obtain what is mine. I'm gonna go now, making no stopping. Some of that grind. I cannot quit until I cross that finish line.